Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bible Illustrated Hands. Today we will do something a little bit different. I won't be answering your questions or ranting or whatever is on my mind, but I will show you how I made my pride and joy fridges and balloons. First, a background story to that video. I simply had an idea of it, I can't even remember, and I asked my animator, yes, I have an animator, if he would like to draw it, but because he was at the time still in the process of creating an animated short for Bible Illustrated, that was a year ago, and it's still in the making, and it will last just a little bit longer than Fridges and Balloons. He takes his sweet time, but I think it will be well worth it. I decided to do it myself. And basically the idea behind Fridges and Balloons is what can I create without having any experience in animation and not having an animation software. And that is how all things began. So, practically everything in the video is hand-drawn. So, these are all the stills, practically. This is like when the fridge begins to explode and so on. These are different frames. But how did I do the main, majority of characters? And this was really painful for me. I will have to empty these pencil holders, something that I'm really not a fan of at this precise moment in time. But I want to show you how it was done. So, I took these two pencil holders. I found a picture frame with this glass, which I removed. I took my cell phone. I will be using my first subscriber's cell phone, known as my mother. I did this. So, I would put a previous frame on the glass. Then I would put paper, like for example here. Then I would trace the next frame with a pencil. And then I would repeat everything with a thin marker. I will draw everything. It was really tiresome because I had to do this balancing act on these two pencil holders. It was quite annoying until the Lord graced me with this. I found this in the drawer at my workplace. It is simply a soft plastic case for some cookies, I think. And while it is soft, I could still press it without it puncturing, and I think it is much more safer than the glass, because with the glass you always have, especially this thin glass, you always have that danger that you will lean too strong and you will end up with a case of severe accidental stigmata. And I really didn't want to go through that because it would impact Bible Illustrated quite a lot if I got an injured arm or my sign of the cross making skills. So that's it. I am sad to say that I had to cut corners where I did not want to. For example, the major one was Father Dimitri. The original idea was for him to cover me with his epitrachelion, as is done in the Sacrament of Confession, and then with him to make the sign of the cross with the cross that he holds in his hand. However, to animate that, I would have to draw him, putting his right arm forward, then making at least 4 frames of him making the sign of the cross. But with these 4 frames, you would clearly see that I would be cutting the crosses. So I would need to make at least 5, and then it will look cheap, and probably around 8. And because I was in such a rush to finish this by the second time of the second anniversary. I had to, do away with that and simply have the fridge explode at him reading the prayer of absolution. And because I'm making this before the video goes live, if there is any, confusion, no, that's not an exorcism, it's confession. So just, as far as the people in the video are concerned, well, there's me, there's Father Dimitri, my spiritual father, who sadly departed to the Lord this May. And I suppose that majority of you people on the channel were aware of my falling apart at his departure. And the sole other character that someone I know is Luca Ciubrillo. He's the composer that composes music for my channel when I'm not downloading royalty-free music. This is him, and to be quite honest, he was the most unhinged element of this video making process, because I wanted him to compose such music in a way that it tells the story and follows the motion. So, there's a difference in music when somebody's flying, there's a difference in music when somebody's talking, and so on. So it's not just ambient music, the music itself tells a story, with the sole sounds being practically the sounds of popping balloons or popping fridges. However, Luca, like every other artist, he has his, blockades, anxieties, and so on. At the time I'm recording this, it is 1 a.m. on Thursday. Video is going online on Sunday, and that is now when you're watching it, and hopefully it did go online because he did deliver the music. If he didn't, the music that you're listening is a free track, and I'm very angry with him. But he's a pretty likable guy, so I'll let that one slip through. I think that's it as far as the video is concerned. I very much enjoyed making it. However, I don't know how much you guys will like the video, because as I said, I'm recording this in the past. But man, it did take its toll on me. I was making, by the way, this is my least favorite frame, but when you're animating on a schedule, you have to roll with it. I was all of my free time went into this minute and 20 seconds of animation, with 10 seconds practically billing the title screen, and 20 seconds being the title screen, and all the patrons credits and everything. So I was losing sleep over it. I didn't do any Bible illustrated drawing, and this is a special message to my patrons. Thank you for putting up with me. You're really golden, as St. Paul says. If I were to ask you to give me your eyes, I know that you would. So again, thank you for all of my patrons. Thank you for your patience in me delivering, that is, not delivering your patron rewards, but me delivering your drawings will become priority after this hellhole of my free time has finally been sealed. I honestly believe that me managing to finish this is a miracle. Literally, as Christ says, without me, you can do nothing, and that is so true. Knowing me, there is no chance in hell that I could have done this by myself. I'm pretty sure that the guardian angel was basically shoving me, to finish it. One of the major reasons being that recently on my main channel I had some videos that were, let's say, more confrontational. For example, Steven Anderson video dealt with a rather unwholesome event in the Christendom, and that is the appearance of Steven Anderson, the pastor. the evil pastor, and the Tridentiest Mass was literally made with zero malicious thought, but then it wasn't interpreted as such by a lot of my Catholic audience. Which is sad. So, again, I apologize. I simply thought it would be funny to turn the Tridentine Mass against it. So, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys understood the video. It's basically confession and how everybody thinks that their sins are the worst and the heaviest thing in the world. And unless you're Charlie Mason, that's not probably true. But still, each one of us is the sinner of whom we are the first. So, may Christ save us, bless us, and thank you so much for following. Again, I will try to make more wholesome content and just turn the comedy a notch down, but it will still be there. Bye!